in 2012-ish, we identified a huge need with the chronically homeless in our community that weren't getting served. We also identified money in the community through the COC, HUD, that could help solve part of this problem if we kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together.
My name is Nicholas Coulter. I'm CEO and co-founder of Person-Centered Housing Options.
And I'm Chuck Albanese, co-founder and CFO of Person-Centered Housing Options.
Chuck and I realized that there was this opportunity to really take on this problem. Folks that were constantly on the streets, cycling through our systems and cycling through our emergency rooms. With the grace and love from our families, we were able to leave our jobs in 2015 and start PCHO. This space is where everything started. Chuck and I, in October of 2015, were working out of here, had a wood-burning stove, had interns coming in here. We were constantly out in the field because obviously we couldn't bring clients to our homes.
This is the weeds. This is the actual weeds. Right down here. In the winter, I would go to St. Joe's on South Avenue. St. Joe's House of Hospitality. In the summer, I'd sleep here. I was about to give up. I had cancer for a year and a half, staying at St. Joe's. Felt like crap. I had no Medicaid. I had no welfare. Living on the streets, panhandling. My life was crap. I just wanted to die. I wanted to give up. PCHO is about helping people. And they go out of their way to help you. But you gotta help yourself too. That's the important thing. Maggie has gone out of her way, forwards and backwards, backwards and forwards, to help me and a lot of other people. Okay, that's what PCHO is about. Get people off the streets. Get them into housing. You know, I thought she was full of BS, but she kept coming by, coming by, coming by, coming by. I love this one.
PCHO's most powerful resource is the staff that we have. They are fearless in their approach and their consistency with the people that we serve. So what's most important is that we're there when we say we're going to be there. We consistently follow up with individuals that we serve, and that we provide them with a menu of services that meets their needs.
A lot of engagement.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Oh, sometimes it's every day.
Yeah.
And sometimes that person just wants to know that you're there and available. They'll send you a text, they'll give you a call, you'll set up a time and a place to meet every day just to check in. If you don't have a relationship with that person, if they don't trust you, if you don't have a good rapport, I would even say a friendship sometimes.
Yeah, oh, sure.
You probably won't get them housed stably in the way that's going to be successful for them.
Sometimes the goals of working with somebody are very simple. Get them hooked up with a doctor. Let's get them so that they feel comfortable in their bed. We've had folks that wouldn't sleep in their own beds because they had slept on the floors or the concrete for so long that being above ground was so weird for them that they couldn't manage sleeping in a bed. I mean, imagine not being able to sleep in a bed.
Once a person's housed, it's really making sure that they have different tools or different access to different services that might help them succeed. You know, Access VR comes to mind, where they might need a digital training. We might help them, you know, maybe with a resume. We might help them get clothing, you know, to go for an interview. There's a wide gamut of things that we could do for them.
Well, I've been homeless off and on since my mother passed away in '93. So I have my ups and downs too. through them times. And if I wasn't incarcerated, I was in the streets until I had a shelter place.
And what has PCHO done for you?
They pay all the rent. And if I ain't had no job, they pay it. And like, wow, and God is good. It means a lot because it gave a person like me another chance, give me another chance at life. And it's been I had this problem about going on a year and a half. And so last year or so, I've been having like 2.5 years so far.
Everybody deserves housing. Everybody has the right to housing. And sometimes it requires a little bit of support along the way. We want people to stay with us indefinitely or work to get jobs and work to get income that no longer requires our subsidies or our supports. And that's what Housing First is essentially all about.
I was addicted to alcohol, and I also suffer from mental health, so I went to the hospital to get treated. I was off my medication, and they said I wasn't unwell enough to stay as a patient. So they released me, and I told them I had nowhere to go. And they told me about the open door mission, and they had someone drop me off here. And that was January of 2019. I met a really good woman that was working here named Esther, and she kind of like took me under her wing, and I got sober. And I started doing outpatient treatment at Evelyn Brandon and going to meetings. And she saw how I was doing what I had to do. And then PCHO came to me like 5.5 months later, and told me that I was accepted into their program. And I haven't been here since. And that was 2 years ago. This is my casa. I just moved in the first, so like I still need like curtains and stuff, but don't worry. This actually is the living room, but I like big bedrooms. Yeah, and it's funny because everything came like at the perfect time. Right. Because it was like full-time job. Okay, you have to move. So I looked at it like a beginning of like a new era. I went to Coffee Connection, and she was just like, we would love you here right on the spot. And I was like, really? And then I was going regularly, like it was actually my job. So it wasn't even like interning. It didn't feel like it at all. Like I was still waking up at 6:30 with the early birds and showing up and being active. And Janet was there, so like, and Cecily was there, and they trained me, and I kind of like got everything down in like a week. You know how crazy it is to go to somewhere, I'm not even gonna lie, that I was an addict and a prison inmate, and have the key to the shop, and I open and close every day by myself. And I'm responsible for register, inventory, like everything. So to have people trust you to that extent is like super powerful.
The fact that you have an arrest record made you more interesting to us because you have more barriers. And we don't think that's fair. And I want to tell you that the difference from when you first came in to now, and we're very pleased and very impressed at how you've become a stable and important member of our staff.
It's not just a population we work with, it's a community. And if you are kind and caring and compassionate, that community will welcome you in. And I love that feeling. It's like so wholesome.
The homeless population has grown. I mean, you see different faces out there today. Like I said, I see young people out there. And that wasn't our issue. I mean, years ago or not too long ago, it wasn't an issue. But now, for that young group, it's an issue now.
PCHO is a true startup, and we're sitting in the barn where we actually started up. It's obviously not an Amazon, or it's not a for-profit agency or company, but it is a true startup. And with that, Nick and I have had to kind of scratch and claw for this little grant to this little grant to some pretty major grants. As we grow and expand, there's always not, unfortunately, finances for all of the things that we need, for the clients or for the programs that we serve or for the buildings that we're hoping to purchase. So, part of our goal is to really kind of explain, not only what we do, but where we're going. And without the continued support from the community or individual folks, in the form of donors, we really can't do that or continue to grow in the vision that we had.
This is my favorite thing, my keys. I can lock up and go out, and I can come home, unlock and go in. I love it.